Alright, we're back in space with more Epic 2. I've got my good pal Klaesick here, or Klaesick. How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing pretty good. You know, I see this very epic wad.
Very nice.
Yeah, Cowboys versus aliens. No, that's not it. All that stuff. So yeah, basically, we're in the prototype for what Mr. Softskill would make for Ancient Aliens. You know, the one where the pyramids were built by the ambiguous aliens, and then every event in human history is somehow connected to the aliens. Up until, like, right now, there are aliens.
Yeah, totally.
That's what you get for watching the History Channel at, like, 3 a.m., so...
Look at these, look at these bastards. They're telefragging each other. What idiots. That's really funny.
I can't believe the History Channel just didn't cover these guys when they were making it.
Oh yeah, totally. Well, I mean, the History Channel is trying to hide the real truth, and this is what the real truth is.
Yes, the aliens were involved. They were just more dooming than they expected.
Oh yeah, totally. You know, it's weird. When I played Ancient Aliens for the first time, I actually didn't know about the History Channel show. And I was telling my girlfriend about it, and I was like, yeah, there's this great wad called Ancient Aliens. She's like, oh yeah, my dad watches that. And I was like, wait, what? What are you talking about? So that's how I found out that it was a History Channel show.
Apparently, I watched. I think it was the Ultimate History Hub video on it because I really like that channel. It's basically explaining the premise of the series, and I can't believe they've been keeping it going to this day. It's not even ancient anymore. It's just like, were the Nazis involved with aliens? And I'm just like,
well,
can they take this?
It's been a really long time since the History Channel has actually been about history. Like, I can remember when I was like a little kid, and I never had cable, but sometimes when I'd go on vacations, my family and I would watch like History Channel stuff and whatever was on cable, essentially. And I remember they actually had like stuff about usually war stuff, like the Civil War or World War II. But around the time I was like 15 or so is when it just kind of went totally off the rails and just became about just nonsense. And it's like, is Obama the Antichrist? I don't know. So that really tickled you. So it's a lark.
Is John Carmack the Antichrist? That's the real question.
I think John Carmack probably in one of Civi's alternate timelines is the Antichrist. But I don't claim to know.
I got that joke from Civi for some reason that like really stuck in my head. Also, John Carmack being like this evil genius or whatever.
Also, I really love the texturing on this. Like, this is.
Oh yeah.
I wonder where he ripped these assets from. This is really cool.
Yeah.
This is getting lost the wad. I need to figure out where to go next.
Man, I hate getting lost.
Yeah. It's fun in the right context. But yeah, you were talking about watching a Goofy movie recently, which
literally yesterday at the date of recording this anyway, on server that you are also on with some friends, and we watched that, and it was just like, I already watched that before on that server, and I'm just like, holy crap, this movie is like way better than it has any right to be.
Yeah.
And then basically, if I can still find that image, we took a screenshot of the movie right when like Goofy got angry at Max for changing the directions of the car. And that face Goofy made where he's like mad just killed us. So
oh my word, yes. Where he's just like really freaking angry. Yeah, I think I've seen that in memes before. That's a very like memeable face, I feel like, where he's just like it's just, I think what's funny about it is that it's just uncharacteristically like realistically angry for Goofy, if that makes sense, because he's such like a nondescript kind of likable character, and to just see him like so like Like, you done fucked up, Max. Oh, you know.
Yeah. We made it a server emoji when we last watched that last year.
I need
I
to.
thought it was the funniest.
I need to.
Disappointed Goofy.
I need to see that. That sounds great.
How about a song, Dad? Man or woman, Walt Disney. Wolf over.
Ooh, look at this. Look at the texturing. It like goes from like solid to like transparent. But I can't get through it. That's really cool.
Speaking a bit more on the Goofy movie, I know it's kind of funny to think that Goofy is technically an antagonist, but in my mind, he's the hero. Because Max is just like a bit of a brat throughout the entire movie.
Well, yeah,
I was very melodramatic.
I was about
this like whole teenage thing.
I was about to say, like, you could interpret either Goofy or Max as being the antagonist, really, because, I mean, it just depends on your perspective, because, you could argue that, like, Goofy is just trying to bond with his son, and Max is, like, chasing some skag. Get out of here. Shit. Fuck. Stupid ass ARCHVILES. Okay. Shit. This is bad.
Max is a Justin Bieber fangirl, but for a band that's extremely 90s. That movie is probably the most 1990s movie I've seen.
I don't necessarily disagree. I mean, that was honestly part of the reason that I liked it. Way back in the day, like back in like 2013, 2014, there was a somewhat now infamous YouTuber called the Nostalgia Critic. Have you heard of him by any chance?
Oh yes, I definitely heard of Doug Walker. I know the allegations and stuff like that. I occasionally watch some of their videos, but they aren't the Nostalgia Critic because I mainly, I guess, kind of grew up on like Angry Video Game Nerd. I wouldn't say grew up like I did with stuff like Smosh or like Keep Mario Brothers or Vanos Gaming, but I watched a lot more Angry Video Game Nerd, and I don't even think I've really seen a Nostalgia Critic video or even got all the way through one. Not because I didn't like it, per se, but yeah, I'm familiar with him, but I don't really watch his stuff.
They're lower quality for sure. I mean, I was in a darker and less mature time of my life a fanboy of his, but he's definitely like Red Key. Okay, he's definitely like he's like the RC Cola of the old school YouTubers. If that makes sense. He was not super great.
The knockoff.
Yeah, and he had a series called Disney Cember, I think, which was every December he would review a different kind of handful of Disney movies, and he reviewed that and was like, "This is surprisingly really good," and I was like, "All right, far out," but no, he that was definitely like my edgy Redditor days back when I was like a shut-in when I was in college. Effectively, I
feel like I'm in a weird in-between phase of being like the edgy Redditor and just being like, I don't know, kind of SJW is the wrong word, but kind of like grown up, kind of, you know. I'm like in that weird in-between phase where I'm like not edgy enough for my edgy friends, but I'm also not like, I guess, what's the opposite of like edgy? I don't know. Normal enough for like normal friends?
No, I think you're
like
cool.
Progressive friends? Yeah.
You're you. You're very you, and don't try to be anyone else because I think you're cool.
Thanks. I kind of meant that in the way of like, I do know some progressive people that like got like really like okay, the things you put in edgy memes, all the Bert and Ernie memes, they're just like too far. But then like now and like with my personal friends who are a lot more edgy, are just like, you know, they're kind of like, you know, jokes about like, you know, being like socialist or whatever, which I don't mind, by the way. It's just kind of funny how like I'm in this like weird like limbo world. I'm fine with that, but you know.
Well, I think the truth is always and how to interpret, you know, reality is always somewhere in the middle between.
I'm like a socialist hippie and a Filthy Frank fan, so I can't really choose.
I mean,
if I had to choose one, I couldn't.
This is why we hang out, because I'm the same way. I'm Give me that super offensive, just piss off everyone, glorious nonsense. But, I'm also going to care about the planet and think that, we need major socialist changes to our government and so forth. So, which, honestly, I think Filthy Frank was satirizing edginess more so than he was actually participating in it. He just, as often happens, people misunderstand the satire or misunderstand that it is satire and take it at face value, which I think was the mistake.
I think I saw the similar thing on the Reddit thread a bit ago, where it's just like Filthy Frank isn't really like right wing kind of edgy, even if the character kind of betrays it, because especially with the channel description, I know with like the whole IDub situation that went on recently, it can get like a bit like hard to tell what's satire nowadays, but Filthy Frank, I feel like, is kind of the most clearly satire out of all like the edgy YouTubers. Like, he's the only one I've seen that hasn't, like, I guess, really changed, because he's just like gone now.
Well, I mean, he hasn't made content for what, 6 years by this point?
Because he's a character. It's like watching South Park, I would say.
Well, well, hang on. I'm not familiar with what happened with iDubbbz. What happened there?
Basically, what happened recently was it turned out a lot of his edgier stuff ended up causing some real-world bullying, and he apologized for that, and then his fans got really mad at him for that. And it was like, no, it's just a joke. And he's just like, no, I'm like he's really changed up. He's not like edgy anymore. He kind of grew up. And me kind of being in between, I'm like, yeah, I perfectly understand why he would do that, edgy content can be cool, but, you should always be careful with what you say. And no matter what, people will take it the way you don't want it to be taken. Even if his intentions was satire, I will say intentions don't really matter in the end.
No,
I still understand perfectly why iDubbbz would do that, and I don't watch much of his content, but I feel like people getting mad at him for apologizing is kind of stupid. Even if they like edgy content, it's just like.
Well, the landscape of YouTube has just changed so much as well, to where I gotta go around. Sorry, this is a very labyrinthian level, so I have to
perfect for this kind of talk, so.
Yeah. One of the great things about ARCHVILES is that, you can always, block them with a door, which is very convenient.
One of the great things about ARCHVILES is that they're never great.
Is that they're what?
One of the great things about ARCHVILES is that they're never great.
Actually, they're one of my favorite enemies to fight. I think they're a lot of fun.
I don't really like fighting them that much. What? I like their design and in combat, but not very fun to fight them.
You're a crazy person. They're the most interesting enemy by far to fight, in my opinion. I mean, they're difficult.
I feel like it's because it feels kind of like a boss monster shoved in. And I always associated them with boss monsters, and that's why I don't really like fighting cyber demons or masterminds.
Oh, that's what makes it exciting. It's mainly because other people use them. That's what makes it exciting, though. It's when you sprinkle in an ARCHVILE with I don't know, a group of Hell Knights and Revenants, and you have to focus on killing the ARCHVILE first. That's when the exciting stuff happens, in my humble opinion. I know. I'm turning into Mount Pain. I know what you're gonna say.
You have become the very thing you swore to destroy.
I never said I didn't like difficulty. Here's the thing. I think the easier the.
I'm just playing it, yeah.
I know. Well. In all honesty, this is something I feel like I want to say. This channel is all about celebrating an easier way of playing Doom WADs, and generally easier WADs as well, and enjoying the more kind of laid back, exploratory aspects of Doom WADs. But and I want to keep our channel like that, because I feel like that's an aspect of Doom modding which is not celebrated enough. And Doom Kid is one of the bastions for that kind of enjoyment, rather than the masochistic slaughter like aspect. But I also enjoy the slaughter stuff every now and then. when the mood strikes and when the time is right. So I just
You enjoy all types of Doom.
exactly I'm a Doom Renaissance man, or I try to be anyway. So
You're the centrist.
well, don't don't call me that.
Oh, you explain my you also share my kind of like distaste for centrists.
Well,
I know politically, enlightened centrism, as I call it, is like, you know, the people say like, well, I'm between on like all issues because, you know, the in between of the issue is always the correct one. You know, that type of people. Those are the type of people when I say enlightened centrist.
oh sure. Well, I do think that the truth of any matter is always in nuance, if that makes sense. It's never nothing's ever clear cut.
It's never a binary.
And yet, I do think there are some individuals who use quote unquote centrism to hide behind ultra-conservatism, which is dangerous and feels disingenuous to me. Like, if you want to be conservative and own it. And oh my god, 2 of them. Okay, this is bad.
I feel like at this point it's because our world, online at least, is very divided. You have, superficially at least, there's either like the big like ultra left wingers like us, and then there's the big like ultra right wingers, and then there's like no in between. So anything that remotely resembles an in between just like kind of gets lumped in with one or the other.
Oh sure. Well, and I wouldn't even. Well, it's hard to say. I'm a big environmentalist, and that, and I'm, you know, that defines a lot of my politics and how I view the world. But I'm also, I don't know, I have some very traditional, like, god damn, okay. I'm also have some more traditional ways of like thinking about things, I guess. So
yeah, there's never like a binary.
Oh sure.
Remember, people are complicated, you know?
Yeah, totally.
I mean, we're literally talking about it with, like, the edgy humor and being socialistic, so...
I think that... Oh, I think it was actually in an interview that you sent, that you posted on the, Sandy's chat recently with Frank Zappa, where he talks about how you boil everyone down to a take and not to a person. And it's like, people don't ask who are you, they ask like what do you believe, or what side are you on. So you're like not defined by who you are, but by like your beliefs and your takes and so forth. And it's like almost like you're branding as an individual in like a political sense, which oversimplifies like the human soul and like, you know, the human emotion. I don't know what I'm saying.
The human experience.
Yeah, I guess that's one way you could put it. Oh, please die. Oh no, don't zap. Oh, shit. This is a tough last room, man. At least I hope this is the last room. Okay. I'm gonna drop another save point here. I think this is an all ARCHVILE map. That's all that I've seen anyway.
All ARCHVILE? Oh no.
Well, I seem to remember, I mean, it's been a couple months since I've seen the Dean of Doom episode, but I'm pretty sure that's the shtick of this map, is that it's all ARCHVILES only.
Literally 1984.
Yeah. I mean, and here's the thing, there are good ways to use ARCHVILES, and there are bad ways to use ARCHVILES, and...
There are good and bad ways to use every monster.
I think in general for me, as long as I have enough space to fight anything really, I can usually handle it. But if you confine my space, I'm not a happy camper. Like give me room to circle strafe and do stuff, I guess.
You're into big rooms, big spaces.
I'm into what?
Big rooms with big spaces.
Exactly. I'm into pigs in space. Oh my god, another one.
Another one.
Another one. Gotcha, bitch. Okay. Drop another save here. Man, this
Mr.
is...
Doom guy doesn't look so good.
Yeah, I'm hopeful to get some health sometime soon. Okay, oh, it's a lift. How very nice. Awesome.
Super!
The Super Mario Epic 2. I'm gonna kill you. Oh, hey,
I'll
bro.
rip your...
Sorry, go ahead.
I'll rip your head off and shit down your neck.
I'm gonna pull off your head and shit it down your neck. Those alien bastards are going to pay. And they're going...
It's a me, Duke Nukem.
They're going to pay for taking our princess.
I remember doing this on like the sand streams back when those were active, where we just randomly break out in the Duke Nukem voice.
I'm actually gonna be... Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Those alien bastards are gonna pay for shooting up my ride.
Oh yeah. I remember he did a playthrough, I want to say, of the Steamy Bathhouse Doomer Boards project, which... Have you played that by any chance?
I have not heard of that until you told me.
Oh, it's so good. I'll send you his playthrough. It's probably my favorite Doomer Boards project. It's and that includes Augur Zenith. It's very chill and laid back, and the combat is very nicely calibrated as well. So it's a good time. I enjoy it a lot. But
Steamy Bathhouse.
yeah, well, I mean,
I love the name.
Sandy made a lot of jokes about that. There's like a scene where there's a bunch of naked Doom guys chilling in a bathtub together, which is very suggestive, of course. But it's just a very like laid back, kind of chill Moroccan bathhouse themed mega wad.
Finally the perfect wad to play with H-Doom. Wait, what?
Oh yeah, tell me about it. Well, I would argue that no wad is a good wad to play with H-Doom, but everyone has to have what they're into, I guess.
And then for one person, it just happens to be Doom, you know.
Oh sure.
Be into what you're into, as long as it's not, you know, animals, children, you know, people with big age gaps, you know.
Well,
just you know, basic human decency, you know.
Well, as Filthy Frank once famously said, you enjoy and are an all right person. I don't give a fuck. You know I enjoy some hentai on the down low. Yeah, you know I enjoy that shit, bro. Oh my god. But what was I gonna say? Yeah, no, I mean, if you enjoy H-Doom and you're an alright person, ain't no problem with that. Where the fuck do I go? I feel like I'm asking that more often in this WOD than I am in others. I legitimately have no idea.
Labyrinthian WODs typically aren't my favorite. I mean, they're probably good for like stuff like this, but like for me, it's just like I don't really like getting lost.
Yeah, I tend to like. This is why I love Nostalgia, which we've talked about a few times before, because it's kind of the perfect difficulty. And it's like every map is super intuitive, super good looking, and it's just you know exactly what your objective is, but it's not like insultingly small or insultingly easy or insultingly obvious. It's just a very like nice, pleasant kind of WOD, if that makes sense. Ah, shit.
That's right.
That's right.
Famous last words.
Oh my god. Alright, so I
You
have...
just play that clip again, and then we just play the "We'll be right back."
Boom, boom, boom.
Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I got myself into this situation.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
He fucked up. Dies.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Where do I go?
I know we already talked about the Goofy movie, but there was this one scene where they went to Los Angeles, and then Goofy opened the wrong door, and then there was this GIF. I think I saw it last end. That was just also cracked me up.
Oh, like when he walks in on like the fat woman and
Yeah.
he's like all bashful. I remember that, of course.
And then he pulls his snout. It was the funniest thing.
I remember seeing a meme of that when I was in college, and it's like, man, Goofy likes him thick. Ah, get out of here! I don't want to get zapped.
He likes them big, and he likes them chunky.
I like 'em big. I like 'em chunky.
There's also this meme I sent you that just cracked me up that I got from a real life friend I'm doing D&D with.
Oh,
so
far
it's just like a crystal, and then a green crystal, like mortar or whatever. It's like, greetings, mortal. You may ask me one question. What's the deal with airline food? God damn it, Jerry. How do you keep finding this crystal?
Yeah, I remember seeing that a few years ago. That one's really funny. Oh god, that level was...
I like to imagine that he went on that he had another question, but when he went on the flight or wherever, he just thought of that instead.
Yeah, he's like, I
He had
wonder...
another stupid question.
I wonder if I should ask the crystal the meaning of life, or if I should ask him, what the deal with airline food is. I think I'll ask him later.
What's the deal with soccer balls? You use your foot. They're not called footballs.
There's no socks anywhere. Anyway, I think this is a good place to call it an episode, and we'll come back later for more Epic 2. Thank y'all for watching, and peace out.
Ciao.